Alright, this is all about shipping this cuckoo clock back, and also a little bit about how to deal with cuckoo clocks when you receive it. The first thing you have to do is pull the chains up. And here is a general rule. Do not take the weights off, or do not take the pendulum off until you remove the weights. And conversely, when you hang your cuckoo clock, do not put the weights on until you put the pendulum on. Do not put the pendulum or the weights on before the clock is hung on the wall. So what we're going to do to take this clock down and for shipment is we are going to do the reverse of what we should do. And that is, we pull the chains up, we remove the weights, like so. Then, and only then, remove the pendulum. Now the clock can be removed from the wall. And notice that the clock is sitting on the wall right now. When you're reversing the operation, you're going to hang that clock first. Nothing is on it until you hang the clock and you level it. It's set to be level to run correctly. Okay, and so I'm going to take this clock down and put it on my desk. Okay, took the top off, put it off the side. We'll pack it later. You look up here, there's a little wire, bent wire, that gets closed over the door. That keeps the door from opening during shipment. You'll need to remember when you unpackage the clock to move that wire out of the way. That always stays there. It's a way you can lock in the cuckoo and keep it from coming out. Anyway, from there we're going to link these chains together. I'm going to run a piece of wire through each of the chains, bend it over on the ends so that the chains can't fall back up inside the case, because if they do that, they're likely to fall off the cogged wheels, the main wheels, and then you'll have play heck trying to get the chains back on the wheel. So I'm going to go get a piece of wire and put it through there. Okay, let's get some additional light over here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a wire through that loop, then through this loop, pulling the chains out as far as I can. I can't see whether I got through the wire. Gotta look here. No, I didn't get through it. Okay. Get it through there. Okay. Alright, now, you see the wire through the loops? What you're going to do, I'm going to bend these, and you unbend these ends, and then pull that wire out. And that'll, anyway, in shipment, that'll keep the chains from going up inside. Okay, and now I've taken a couple pieces of plastic from old vertical blind material, and I've cut some T-shapes. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take each of the loose wires, and I'm simply going to start rolling them up like so. And that will free up the chains. This just kind of keeps them from getting tangled when it's being shipped. I get them up about that far, and then I can bend them over. And then I can put, I can put a rubber band around them. Okay, and that's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the same with the other chain, and I won't have to show that one. When you get these, you're going to take the rubber band off, unroll those, take the wire out, unclip the bird door, and that will be ready for most. Now we got to go to the inside of the clock and show you what we're going to do in there. We're going to undo the latch, open the latch, undo the door, and I have made a couple of brass clips that will go on the doors, and let me get that set up so you can see that. Okay, there's a brass clip. There's a brass clip. What you're going to do is you're going to reach in there and you're going to gently slide them back a little bit, pull them off, remove those. You need to remove those to have the bellows work. And that keeps the bellows from flopping around while they're in shipment. The other thing we're going to do is we're just going to put a piece of paper card in here to keep the bellows from, or the gong from ringing and rattling. Otherwise you're going to get this when it's shipping, and they might think it's a bomb or something. Something in the gong, keep it from rattling. Put a piece of tape on it, remove that stuff, take your metal out of there. Now we'll put this back in, close the latch, and that's ready to be wrapped and put in the box. Once you unwrap the thing, unwrap your top, unwrap your pendulum, you're going to hang it on the wall. It's all boxed and ready to go. Okay, so here's a clock that I fixed up for my granddaughter. I just hung it on the wall here. It's important that you know how to properly take care of your clock. When you hang it, one of the things you have to do is make sure that it's flat against the wall. You can't have it so that the front is hanging out, or the pendulum will drag on the slot that's underneath here, and then you're going to have a clock that won't run. So it needs to have it flat against the wall. And then the other thing is, it needs to be what's called in beat. Listen to this clock. Now let me take it out of beat. I'm going to move it just slightly out of level. That's way out of beat. If the okay, so you need to move it until it's in beat. Listen to it the other way. Slide it this way. That's out of beat, and it will not keep running if it's out of beat. So you need to have it running like that. Problem is, now when you wind it, if we just pull on the weights, it's probably going to make the clock shift and go out of beat. So what I do is always put my hand on the clock. That's hard for me to show this. While I pull up the chain. So say my hand is on the clock holding it against the wall, and I pull the chain slowly to pull it up. Same with the other one. Listen that you haven't knocked it out of beat. Also, when you hang this, put it somewhere where kids aren't going to get to it, because the worst thing that can happen is a kid watches you winding this clock, and the weights come down and they think, oh, I gotta wind it, and what they do is they grab a hold of a weight and they pull on it, and what that'll do is it'll bend the clicks and the main wheels inside the clock, and all of a sudden your weights may fall to the floor, and the clock quits working, and then you've got a major repair on your hands. So never pull on those chains. Now, as the clock runs, these weights are not going to drop at the same rate. One will go faster than the other because one of these weights is running the time, and the other is running the cuckoo. So at 1 o'clock, the time side is going to run at a constant rate, drop at a constant rate, but the cuckoo side is going to vary. At 1 o'clock it's going to cuckoo once and just fall a little tiny bit. At midnight it's going to cuckoo a whole bunch of times and drop a whole lot. So these things will not fall at exactly the same rate. But then, anyway, by the time you get to the end of the day, these will have shifted down to where they pretty much fall the same. You let them run together. So don't worry if the weights are not falling at exactly the same rate. Okay, now where to hang it. This one is kind of off by itself, so there's no drafts blowing against it, because if there's a draft like near a door, somebody opens a door and a wind blows through, or somebody's constantly walking past it in a hallway, a breeze like this is going to affect the pendulum, and it's the pendulum that keeps it running and running right. So you don't want this above a radiator, above a heater of any kind. Not a good idea to hang it in the kitchen, because if you're cooking grease is going to get on this thing. I mean, even on the chains, you get the chains are on the way. You pull those chains up, it's pulling that dirt right up inside the clock. So find a place that's kind of isolates the clock a little bit so that it doesn't get subjected to breezes, changes in temperature, because remember, it's the length of the pendulum that controls the timing of the timekeeping. And if you have it where the temperatures are constantly changing, then the pendulum is going to be changing length. It's going to expand or contract, and the clock will not be very accurate in the way it keeps time. Note too that the clock is not going to keep the same time throughout the year. In the summertime, if it's very humid, the wooden pendulum is going to absorb moisture. It's going to make it a little heavier, and that's going to slow things down. In the winter, the air is dry, dries the wood out, pendulum gets lighter, it's going to run faster. So you're going to have to make some adjustments. And of course, the way you adjust that is by moving the leaf or bob that's on the pendulum. You move it just a millimeter or so at a time till you get it to keep the proper time. And while we're at it, if you're going to adjust the time, my suggestion is always move the hands in a clockwise position or rotation. Because if you do them backwards, it's going to put pressure on that nut in the middle and tend to loosen it or make it come completely loose, and then you get problems again. So hang it properly, keep it away from hot and cold temperature changes, breezes, that kind of thing. And also note, cuckoo clocks are not extremely accurate timekeepers. If you get them within a couple of minutes a week, you're doing okay. Now, one more thing in hanging these, what you want to do is, and this one is not properly hung, when the weights are all the way up, the chains should just touch the floor. You see, they should be like this when they're fully wound. so that they run completely. This one is a one-day clock, but it only keeps, it should run about 30 hours, but it will probably only run about 20 hours because I've got a good portion of the chains sitting on the floor. So hang the clock high enough that the chains just touch the floor when fully wound, and then you'll get your full run time out of it. Okay, there's Cuckoo clock running. Should run for quite a while. I mean, as far as years go, should be oiled every 5-6 years or so, maybe cleaned, thoroughly cleaned and overhauled, maybe every 10 years. It depends on what you can afford and what you want to do, how long you want it to last, but if it's kept clean, it should go for a long, long time. Please, whatever you do, don't ever use some kind of spray oil or WD-40 or 2-in-1 oil or anything like that. The only oil that should be going into these clocks is on the pivots of the gears, not the pivots of the levers, nothing but pivots of the gears, and maybe a drop on the pallets that run on the escape wheel, and that's it. Enjoy.